I hear this on TikTok a lot, and it says that your life doesn't begin till 40. And I do believe that in a way, but I also believe that sometimes when, as women, we hit 40, that we've checked all the boxes and we've done everything the right way. And instead of feeling like, oh, I made it, you feel pressure, feel dread, feel tired. And I'm going to talk about my story really quick because I think it's important that right around the age of 40, I realized that all the things that I thought that I wanted, the nice house, the cars in the driveway, powerhouse couple that I was in, all these things that I thought I really wanted and I was really proud of were actually taking from me on a really deep level. And what do I mean by taking? It means that in order for me to have stayed in that life and to live in that life, that I was giving too much of myself. So if that resonates, please keep listening. I hear a lot on TikTok that they say that life begins at 40. For me, it was a different story. At 40, I felt like I was dying. I had horrible asthma. I had horrible migraines. I was super depressed, anxious, all of these things, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. So I started reading this book called The Body Keeps Score. And what I realized through that process was that I was holding on to a tremendous amount of stress from my entire life. And I also read the book about Codependent No More. And I realized that I had built this life around me that was all about me giving. And I didn't put much effort into receiving because I didn't think I was worthy enough. So at 40, instead of thinking that, oh my gosh, my kids are getting older, they're more independent, I felt like I was being crushed from the inside out. And maybe you're feeling that way now. And you look around and you see that you have the house, you have the car, you have the gym membership, you have beautiful children that are happy and healthy, and you have a great job, a great sense of community, but there's something missing and you don't know what it is. And you're sure as shit afraid to find out. Now, here's the thing. We might say that life begins at 40 because we've done all these hard things. But the reality is, if you have to start over at 40, that there's a lot of stigma that comes along with that. And most of the stigma is actually in your own heart and in your own mind because you think, at least what this is what I thought, is what's wrong with me that I cannot be happy? And over again, this would play out in my head. I remember making dinner and just crying through dinner, not being able to speak, not being able to really talk about how I was feeling because I had buried down all those feelings so deeply because I was so ashamed of feeling this sadness, this hurt, this betrayal of my own doing. And if you're in that spot, if you've checked the boxes of all the things you're supposed to do and you're so afraid of starting over at 40, whether it's a new relationship, a new job, a new home, whatever it is that you feel like you're being called to do and you're so afraid of doing it, here's some things that have helped me out. And if I could go back and give myself some advice, this is the advice that I would give that woman that was scared of making a huge change, scared of making the wrong choice, scared of what her friends and family were going to think of her. But there's having a bad day, having a bad week, and there's a difference between that and feeling like you're dying. So figure out which one you are. Is it something small you can change that's going to make you happy? Is it more exercise? Is it eating better? Is it sleeping better? Because those little things are super important. And what I was doing all of them. I was going to the gym. I was going on hikes. I was trying to follow my heart and follow my bliss while also staying in this relationship that I knew just didn't fit me anymore. It didn't fit either of us. But if you're in that space where you're doing all the things and you're just super unhappy and maybe you're scrolling on TikTok right now and maybe this found you for a reason, imagine your life free of all the things that are holding you back. So if you're struggling with migraines, imagine a life where you don't have that stress that's going to trigger a migraine. If you're having problems financially, imagine a life that brings you financial abundance. And you just have to put yourself in this space. Tiny little steps, but you can take a minute and close your eyes, take a breath, and just start imagining what it would feel like to have these things in your life. And allow yourself to have these feelings of joy and abundance and happiness. For so long, we get stuck in this pattern of shame, sadness, loss of hope, that even just closing your eyes and imagining yourself in a different situation can really change your energy and your stress. What's going to happen when you start thinking about and imagining the life that you truly want is your brain's going to come back and it's going to say, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. And what you have to do then, which is the second step, is feel those feelings. Don't shove them aside. Don't shove that fear aside, but feel those feelings. Allow them to come up. Allow the fear that you've been holding down for so long to be heard, to be held, to be witnessed. And once that fear can kind of come out and present itself, you can thank it and you can put it in the back seat and then continue on this journey of inviting in more abundance, inviting in more space. Something that's really powerful for me when I kind of start thinking that lizard brain kind of starts going off is that I do not chase, I allow. I do not chase, I allow. Allowing is what's going to bring forth the things in your life that you need to take that next step towards living a fulfilling life. And here's the thing, you are worthy of happiness. And I think that's such a huge piece that we forget because we're trying to make everybody else happy, is that we are worthy of happiness within ourselves, within our heart. We are worthy of a creative life. We are worthy of love. But we have to learn how to love ourselves first, and we have to learn what ourselves want. And that's where these little tiny steps, imagining your life, your best life. Imagine what that is, write it out. And when that fear comes up, let that fear come up. I think for so long we're so scared of our own hopes and dreams that we get stuck in this life that maybe doesn't fit us anymore. We're not doing a service to anybody that's around us. For me, I thought that if I just stayed in this relationship, that I was helping everybody out around me, that I was helping my kids, that I was helping my husband at the time, and I was helping. I, I, I just thought that if I just could live in this box and be unhappy, that everybody else around me could be happy. And that's not how it goes. We have to love ourselves first. We have to find happiness first, and then we give it to others. So even though it's scary and it's fearful and it hurts, we have to learn what we want and we have to take the tiny steps and we have to allow that fear that's been holding us back for so long. We have to let it come up, disperse, thank it, give it gratitude, and then kindly put it in the back seat and let your heart and your dreams drive the bus. I hope this helped.